the word pastor, giving all praise to Yahweh Hashem Shah Hashem Rakakwadash. And I looked up the word pastor, Pastor, and surprisingly it came up only one time in the scriptures. In Jeremiah 17 verse 16, and I'll read the scripture. As for me, I have not hastened from being a pastor to follow thee, neither have I desired the woeful day. Thou knowest that which came out of my lips was right before thee. Now, I didn't read the verses above that or even below it, and I had clicked on the word. I had clicked on the precept. Now, the word pastor, the actual root word, is in the scriptures many times, but under a different name. And the Most High set us up to be pastors over the flock, over the Israelites. Now, we said this many a times in the past. In other words, you can't be a pastor or a man of the Lord if you take breaks. If you do a disappearing act, you disappear for a whole year or 6 months or 20 years for that matter. Or you just go back into the world. You don't do this no more. You're not one of the Lord's pastors. You're not one of the Lord's men. This is a constant, continuous, which is constant, job that we have to do. There may be certain days you don't want to do the job, but you do it anyway. That's also in the scriptures in the New Testament. I'm not going to go into that. But the job of a pastor is to watch over the sheep. Oh, even in the movie Training Day, Denzel made that statement. In order to protect the sheep from the wolf, you got to be like the wolf. Now, you have people, other Israelite groups that get on us that basically say that GMS, all they do is get on other camps, which that's not all we do. We teach, and we do get on other camps when they're going off. Like the MOTB, we get on you all the time, because if you're teaching that it's something other than what we're teaching, your followers, if you have 1,000 followers, if you have 10,000 followers, if you have 5 followers, they're going to follow you because they are the sheep and you are the pastor. So they'll say, so they look at you as the Lord is dealing directly with you. So whatever you say, they're not going to question it, which that's not really even scriptural. The scriptures say in one precept come to mind, 1 John 4, try the spirit, whether it or he be of the Most High. Scriptures also speak about false messiahs and false teachers. Any of you groups out there that's teaching that, using this example, because it's right around the corner, right up the block, so to speak, is a MOTB, which when they actually push it, which they are pushing it anyway, they're pushing it anyway with the current state of condition that we're dealing with, the thing with New York City. Now, anybody that works for New York City, they have to get a jab. Now, we had a special guest come to the camp over the weekend, and that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to tell you. You don't know him anyway, but he basically said he's not going to get it. You know, he obviously, worked for the city. He said he's not with it at all, and he had put a lot of years in working for the city. So he said, I'm not with that. I'm not with that. And he made a statement. He said, when we were closing, he said, I wanted to get the opportunity to meet the prophets at least one time. So we kind of, laughed about it and put our heads down, because we believe that we're humble. For a man to look at you and make a definitive statement like that is a heavy thing. But who is doing what we're doing? Like I said, anybody that took a break or takes breaks, does a disappearing act, and I'm not talking about a week, something happened where you had to go to your family situation, you had to go out of town real quick. Well, and even in that, if you go out of town, there should be a camp out there that you can get with, or you can still teach. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse. Anyway, we get on these other camps when they go off on the scriptures. If you notice, if they go off on the scriptures, we get on them. We say, look, these guys are going off. Mainly, what's in my mind is the MOTB. That it's around the corner, that it's practically here, and not to take it. Now you have other people that'll say, oh, you can take it in the last minute, you can pull it out. Don't you run away from a person like that. You run away from a person like that. And who made that statement was his title is Priest Zabak. He made that statement in one video. Now we like that brother. He's a great teacher, but he is going off. Just like Bishop Nate is going off. Just like General Yohana is going off. Just like the rest of them is going off. Are going off, excuse me. A pastor has the cane, and if the sheep is going astray, he takes that cane, whatever you call that cane with the hook on it, the big cane, and he grabs the sheep that's going astray, and he leads them back into the flock, because the flock is following the pastor, right? Same thing goes with a sheepdog, and I've seen this. I was filming these sheep, and the dog looked like one of the sheep. It was white, but the dog or that sheep started running after me, but it was fenced off, and started barking. But it was hidden among the sheep, and the dog didn't know who I was. But the dog is bred to protect the sheep, and the dog barked. The dog came up in my face and barked, which makes me think of a precept somebody can put in the description box. What is that? Isaiah 56:10. It says, loving to slumber, they cannot bark. Meaning, tell the truth. Constantly bark in somebody's face. Don't take the MOTB, because you're going to be destroyed. Don't take the MOTB, because you're going to be destroyed. And all these guys they're going to be found out as to not be true men of the Lord. Least they repent. And I know why they're not teaching it, because GMS first taught it. GMS is known for teaching about the MOTB. And they're like, it kind of makes sense, but GMS said it, so we ain't going to do it. Well, you know what? You ain't men of the Lord. Point blank, period. Bottom line. Anyway, the word for pastor is, the Hebrew word is ra'ai, and it's a primitive root. Now it says, I'm not going to make this long. It says, because I'm going to get ready to do my walk, then I'm going to go out there and try to make some shekels. It says, the King James Version translates Strong's H7462 in the following manner: feed. Now feed, the word H7462, feed, which is from the word pastor. You got the word feed. According to this, it's in there 75 times. So really you can replace the word feed with pastor. Shepherd is another way of saying pastor. It's in the scripture 63 times. Pastor 8 times. Herdman 7 times. Keep 3 times. Companion 2 times. Broken 1 time. Company 1 time. And the prophets that got together as a group, they were not called camps, they were called companies. It says to pastor 10, graze, feed. What does it mean to feed? What does it say in Jeremiah 3 verse 15? That we're going to feed them, which will feed you. And what do the men of the Lord or the pastors feed you with? This truth. They open up the book and they tell you this precept means that precept means this. The so-called white man, which is in the power seat, those are the actual Edomites. They're not really so-called white people. They're really red. They're the Edomites. They're empowered now, and they're getting ready to lose their power. Pursuant to what is that? 2nd Ezra 6 verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And that's getting ready to happen. That's why you have people coming out saying that we're not the Israelites. Oh, the Israelites never existed. And the Edomites, surprisingly, everybody, the Cushites, the Amorites, they all existed, but these two nations are made up nations. The Israelites don't exist and the Edomites don't exist. So who are we, the people in North, Central, and South America that constantly fulfill the prophecies? We know that we are the people of the Most High because we fulfill the prophecies. Romans 8 verse 16 you can read from there. Read down to like the 23rd verse. It said to pastor 10 or 10:2, graze, feed, give you the understanding of the scriptures. Now if you're following GOCC, then you're following a devil. The leader of GOCC is the devil. Even Bobby Boucher's mother would tell you that, inside joke. That boy is the devil because he's teaching that Edomites can make it. He's teaching that there's mermaids. And you know, when you go to his video, he'll do a live show and he'll get like 35,000-40,000 hits. And he's dead wrong. Oh, he says that there's a place called hell. You can go to hell. There's a reincarnation is not biblical. You got a lot of these false prophets and false teachers and false pastors leading the flock astray. The Apostle Paul said, when I depart, grievous wolves shall enter in. Well, guess what? The grievous wolves are all out there, the different Israelite groups. And not just different Israelite groups. these other groups, the Kemetic groups, the Moors, look, the Moors, there's no such thing as Moors. And you people that claim to be Kemetic, you're not the Kemetic people. Those are Hamites. But the Most High is going to destroy every last one of you. Get ready to close this. It says to 10. Write 10 to tend to, meaning take time out for them. Meaning, not get a passport and hop on a plane and go someplace. Meaning, get it to them any way you can. And the best way to get this knowledge out is through what? Through YouTube. Through the web. I don't have to get a passport and hop on a plane and get vaccinations in my arm to go to another country so I can teach you face to face. That's also in Matthew the 10th chapter. We shall not go over all the cities until the Lord come. Merely paraphrasing. So this is the scriptures say in Matthew 24, this gospel shall be preached throughout the whole, or published throughout the whole world, meaning in the oikoumene sense, and then the end shall come. What did that? What did that? The web, YouTube mainly. It said to tend pasture to Shep